Welcome to the check-in.
My name is Brianna.
And my name is Tondrea.
And we are your new favorite homegirls.
Checking in with each other and checking in with you.
Yes, so come on in, get comfortable, relax, and let's get into this conversation.
So, my highs and lows. High. I feel like I had a better high than it's Friday. Maybe I should start with the lows then. I've been tired all week, like super duper fatigued. And haven't been eating properly. I low-key feel like the weight's going down again. And I'm like, damn. But it's like, I can peep just a little bit. I feel like it's an easy comeback, but I just haven't been taking a whole bunch of care of myself. Like, I barely reset yesterday night.
Reset?
Yeah, reset.
Okay.
Like, clean.
Yeah.
Did a deep clean.
Yeah.
Finally put the calendar to November. Right.
I mean, I didn't mean to judge you. I just, it hit me that it's like the middle of, okay.
Yes, ma'am. And yeah. So I feel like that is my low. Yesterday, this is kind of a low. A clothing rack fell on me.
What? This is JCPenney all over again.
No, but this one wasn't as bad as JCPenney's. I definitely should have got money out of them. But I was just trying to do my job, and I guess it was too heavy, and it started tipping over, and I tried to save it with my back, and then my back started gradually hurting, and I was like, oh my gosh, and then 5 people had to run over there to get the rack. Like, one girl's like, oh my gosh, the rack's falling. So she's like running, and she's like, you guys, we need your help, because me and her couldn't get it back on it to me. So it was kind of like a low because my back actually did start gradually hurting. And I thought the remedy was to dance it off when I got home to clean. So I'm okay now.
I love the thought to dance it off.
I had a great time last night with the
Ooh,
music.
what you was dancing to?
Everything.
Okay.
I just was playing music and then I forgot that like there was new music. So did that. I guess that was a high.
You danced it off.
I danced it off and I'm having a good time.
You having a whole concert.
A whole concert.
Okay.
Yes.
I need one of those days.
You do.
I really do. I've been trying to have like a dance. I don't know what music I'm trying to feel right now.
Play it all.
I think I need to play it all.
It just be like, ooh, I do like that. Ooh,
yeah.
Click. So, yeah, I had a dance party and came back from Houston. So, yeah.
H-Town. Really get down? I don't know if that's what they say. I do not say H-Town.
Yeah, H-Town.
Yeah, let me stop. Okay.
Right. No, I don't mind.
Are you done?
That's my highs and lows. Yeah. It was all over the place, but I'm alive.
It's not, I was going to say, like, I don't know what my low is. Like, and not like I was like, oh yeah, I had like the best week ever because I just can't remember. The week is a blur.
No, yeah, the week is a blur.
So I guess my low is that like the week is a blur.
Mm-hmm.
My weeks have been blurs.
Mm-hmm.
And like when people people ask me like, oh, what you been up to? I'm like, oh, I've been very busy. Like it's just been very busy to the point that it's like everything is a blur.
Yeah.
And I need a full reset day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. Like nothing really to complain about or anything. It's just that I need to take a break. Which I will be, which is my high. Baby girl is going to Hawaii.
Officially going on vacation.
I'm going on vacation.
Out of office.
Out of office for a whole week.
Don't contact her.
Do not contact me. I will be in Hawaii. Living my life.
You living.
Shaking my butt.
Heard that.
Getting the sun. Ooh, getting that like really good sunshine, that vitamin D all in my skin.
Yes.
Allowing myself to just soak it in the ocean. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. So that's my high. Also, I'm just doing a lot of things that I want to do. I actually had a really good, my high. I had a really good conversation. It was really quick though, with one of the directors at the studio that I work at. And they were saying like, asking like, how have you been? And I was like, I've been good. I've just been like super busy. Like I've been working every day, and it's been like that. And they're like, yeah, you've been doing trainings, doing this. And I was like, yeah. And then I was like, but I'm doing everything that I love.
Right.
I was like, I'm busy every day, but I'm doing things that I love.
Yes.
And this is what I wanted to do. And they were like, no, that's exactly where we should all be. Like, that's so good that you're there. And I was like, yeah, I'm so happy.
Yes, that's good.
So,
Nice.
yeah, that's my high. Is that like, I'm going to Hawaii, and even though my low is that I need a break, I am asking I'm asking for a break. And not like I don't, it's like I'm not, like, it's not a break because I'm like, I hate what I'm doing. It's just like, I need to sleep. Yeah. I need to take time. And like, I need quality time. I need with myself.
Yeah.
So I just got to navigate that and everything. But other than that was my highs and lows. That's it. But to get into what we are talking about this week, we are talking about boundaries.
Yes, we are talking about boundaries. No pay it forwards this week. But still support the ones that we have shouted out for sure. So we're just going to get straight into the topic.
Yeah. So, boundaries. What are they? Why do we have they?
I found an image, a few examples. It says the boundary types. Boundaries are a personal, clear limit for how people behave towards us.
A personal, clear limit of how people behave towards us.
I don't know if that's the actual definition.
I mean, I think that can make sense, though. Like, if you don't set boundaries, the way people act towards you is because of your lack of boundaries.
Yeah, it says boundaries are a way we take care of ourselves. When we understand how to set and maintain them, you can avoid the feelings of resentment, disappointment, anger that build up when limits have been pushed. So they put time boundaries, how much time you spend with someone doing something, time boundaries at work, physical boundaries around physical proximity, sexuality, and how much space you share with others. Conversational boundaries, topics you're open to discussing and not discussing. Relationship, mutually agreed upon with your close friends and your partners. Personal, where you have placed with yourself based on the awareness of your own unique needs. And content boundaries, I'm sure that's a new thing.
Yeah, I think
based
that
off
is.
of media, where of what you will and will not consume or will have monitored consumption on social media, TV, etc. So,
dang, I feel like I've been doing a lot. I mean, boundaries in general, especially like the content boundaries. That's something that like I've been doing a lot lately, where I'm like, I'm not following these people. I'm following these people, like trying to make sure that like my feed is more of like spiritual and everything, and just like reminder and like healthy, instead of sound like people who I known from high school or whatever, who I'm like, I don't care about. That sounds messed up, but like I don't care about your life. Like I just you know, like I'm just scrolling and I'm not interested, but I'd rather be like scrolling on stuff that like I actually want to engage in, instead of just like BS stuff, or like people I used to follow for like fashion or whatever, and it's like, okay, but like but also what else, you know, for me, but
creating it around what you want to see.
Right.
So would that be like the strongest area of boundaries for you?
No.
You started out.
I did. Tears started coming. Tears started coming. My biggest place where I have to work on boundaries.
Oh, okay.
Work. I am a workaholic. I can do it. I am a like gold star type of girl. Yeah. I'm trying not to curse on this thing. I am like, I have ideas, and I'm gonna do it all. I'm gonna do it all, and I'm gonna do it the greatest. If I don't do it the greatest, I'm upset. Like work is where like I need to thrive and I need to do. But the thing is, like I said, will do it all. Yeah. So it's like, even if if it's not for me to work, time for me to work, if it's not for me to clock in, if it's not under my job title, but I can do it, and I'm like, I'm chilling, fine, I will do it. And to me, it's like, oh yeah, like, no, I don't mind just, grabbing this. It's no big deal. But when I'm doing it over and over again, and then when people start expecting it, then I'm like, dang it. Because I'm really good at anything that I do.
Heard that.
But it's not, I don't go in like, I'm good at everything I do. It's just, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll help. Oh yeah, I help. Like, I'm good. I could do it. But then I won't stop. And then also, I'm like, ooh, get this money. Yeah. Like, it's the mind frame of like, oh yeah, let me go get this money. Like, oh yeah, some extra money. You need to sleep. You need to go home.
And rest.
You need a day off.
Right.
You can't do it all.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, why not? Because hearing people be like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. It's like, yeah, you're welcome. Like, I love helping people. Like, I love helping people.
Yeah.
But also, like, you need to chill out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's okay. So that's the place where I'm like, boundaries. I'm like, oh, there's a lot of places I need to work on with boundaries, or where boundaries, I think, I'll let you answer. Sorry. I'm like going into where it's.
I'm listening.
Okay. Because you're listening. I think that's the biggest place I need to work on with boundaries. And then the second place would be like romantic partners or people. Like, I am really, like, I'm good at like the idea, like, at first boundaries, but like I go into this like hopeless romantic phase where I'm just like, oh my gosh, let's do this, let's do that. And I had to, like, when dating now, I had to really, like, and it was fun to be like, this is what I am and not doing. This is what I will, go out with somebody doing this, but I'm not going to be doing it. It's like little stuff like that. Like, oh, we can go here, but I'm not going to be like having nobody at my house or stuff like that.
Right.
But when it comes to, like, again, I think also with people pleasing, but also loving to help people, I kept attracting people who needed my help. So I would do all, not respecting my own boundaries of, I need time to myself, or I cannot help you right now, or I cannot be your soundboard right now.
Right.
Or I can't fix your problem right now.
Right. Yeah.
That was something I really learned this year, where it's like, no. And also the other boundary when it comes to like dating is like, I'm dating.
Yeah.
Like, we're not together. No situationships. I am dating.
Yeah.
This is it.
Oh no, yeah. Same.
Like, if we are going more, cool. And like, I've been getting very comfortable now with being like, okay, if we are dating, this is what I mean when I'm saying when I'm dating, I'll bring it up. If we want to be exclusive, we need to talk about being, like, stuff like that. But before, it would just be like, oh, I'll go with the flow, and I mean, they like me, and they're saying these things, and yeah, so that's trash. So I think that's like the main two places I need to work on. But I think I have good boundaries with, like, friends.
Oh, that's good.
And yeah, and yeah, I think friends. And what other aspects? What other places?
Oh, it just showed, this example says time, physical, conversational, relational, personal, and content. So for me, I want to say I'm probably really good with physical and conversational boundaries.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, like physical, I'm gonna let you do you, especially this 6 feet.
Oh yeah.
At the grocery store, people be all up on me.
Yeah.
I gotta turn around just to, like, let them know you're too close. But in general, like, most people don't really have to say that they have a physical boundary, because I'm not gonna just, like, touch you. Like,
yeah.
And sometimes if I was to, like, be excited or, like, meet somebody and I accidentally touch their arm, not accidentally, but anything, like, I might touch someone's arm or something.
Yeah.
And if I peep a weird reaction, it's like, ooh, like,
yeah.
I don't really know this person or something. But that, and then conversational boundaries around where it says topics you're open to discussing and not discussing. I want to say, it's like, I don't have to explicitly say, I'm not talking about this. I just make it clear, like, to a degree that it's like, I have a boundary. I'm not gonna keep going into detail.
You really are good at, like, not like changing the subject, but like deading the conversation and like oh, and then moving on and like and making it like, oh, okay, we're not talking about this. Okay.
So it's like I just for that I don't, and it's like I don't want to make people uncomfortable either. Like some people are able to just be like no or like say it out loud and stuff like that. But for me, it's like I'll work my way around it, and I think people can like peep like nah. And then for other people, sometimes I might bring up something, and then I have to be cognizant of like, oh, they don't want to talk about that.
Okay.
So then I just like respect that immediately. Yeah. Where it's like, ooh, what am I saying? Like, you know, if I'm like, if it's sensitive to a degree or just not appropriate at the time, like space or whatever. So I think I'm pretty strong in those areas. Time boundaries, relationship boundaries, personal boundaries, content, I don't really know. But all of those together, because they all have to do with people. I struggle with boundaries with people. And I definitely think it comes from the people pleasing. Like if I'm thinking time boundaries, majority of my circle, y'all love language is quality time. So that's been like thrown on me, which I enjoy, but I think where I have to learn a boundary is, okay, this quality time has to stop. Like, I'm good. I'm drained. I've had a great time, or I have things to do, and I don't want it to seem like I'm not having a good time. I still love you. I still want to spend time with you. This is great, but we're done. But I don't know how to get there. Like I do know how to get there. I just have not got there. So, and then it's like thinking about with cellular devices. Okay, so maybe that's content, but with phones, it's like I have people in different areas. Like, so my sister, she's calling every day. Yeah, and it's like, okay, now you want quality time over the phone. Okay, and some people that do have the quality time love language, it's like, I need your full attention. Like, Tondrea, you can't be on your phone. You can't be talking to somebody else. You can't be doing this because I don't think you're listening to me. I don't think you're actually there and loving on me. And it's like, I hear you, but I have things to do. So that's been a struggle where it's like I automatically now I see myself automatically when I'm having quality time with people, I turn everything else off, which is great. Okay, but it's like, where's the limit?
Where's the limit? Yeah.
And I need to find that balance where it's like, I'm here, I love you, and I'm talking in your language, but this is where it has to stop. Yeah. And then what?
I'm just thinking about no, this is definitely like throughout the years picking up when I was like, all right, it's time to go. She's tapped out, and not like, and I'm not the type of person that needs your full attention. Like I'm the type of person that's like, I can be you here, me there, and we're doing everything that's quality time, or just like even just like chilling, eat or whatever. Yeah. But even with that, like or like just hanging out, and I'm like, yeah, she's done. All right, I'm about to go home. Like I could just tell when you're just like trying, like
love language has grown on me. Yeah. I just need to like, and I know my limits. Yeah. I just need to express it with other people. So yeah. And then let me see. Oh, personal boundaries. I feel like maybe I'm not really too sure if that's super duper strong, because low key, if I'm not meeting the other boundaries, then I might not be meeting my personal boundaries, you know?
Oh, okay.
So I'm not really sure.
Yeah. I feel like I'm not sure either. Yeah. Because when I think of personal boundaries, it's more like I'm not going to. I feel like does that deal with other people, or does that what? I'm just now trying to
personal
think.
Boundaries you have place with yourself based on awareness of your own unique needs, but that can definitely coincide with
other people
outside needs as well. If I'm not meeting those, so
I guess like boundaries of like, I'm going no matter what, I'm going to get 8 hours of sleep. Like I need it for my body. Yeah. Okay. Or like what you eat. I'm not going to eat pork rinds because it doesn't do well, even if everybody's eating pork rinds.
Right. Or like interest and stuff.
Interest.
Okay,
yeah. Like
I think okay.
Like the people who go to the gym, it's like I need to go to the gym for myself. Like that's like you're not going to get away with that.
Okay. I think that's how I am with my solitude.
Yeah.
when now I am in my solitude,
leave me alone.
Sorry.
Yeah. Especially like
Can't come
being
between
busy.
that.
When I do get my moments of solitude, I don't care.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a boundary. Or, yeah, like my space.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. But relationship boundaries, it varies on the party. Of,
Okay.
like, the group of people. Like, it's like, I have boundaries with you here.
Yeah.
And not there. I have boundaries with you.
Or
I don't have boundaries. Like, I don't think there's nobody that I don't fully have boundaries with. Unless, maybe if they're, like, new and I'm still trying to fill them out. I think I'm very fluid when I meet somebody new.
I think that's what I'm trying to say.
I think I'm very, very fluid, where I'm like, I'm just trying to figure it out. I don't want to mess anything up. And that could be the people pleasing too, where it's like, I don't want to mess nothing up. Let me fill you out and then figure it out going forward, which is not great.
That's what I meant by the whole hopeless romantic thing, where it's like at the beginning, I'm like, oh my gosh, anything you want, da da da. But then later on, that's when I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
Yeah.
Oh, but I allowed this happen because I was trying to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, it's not.
So yeah, those are, I think that's where I lack the most, is like time and people.
When thinking about time, like I feel like I'm good on like I'm really a timely person, but when it comes to like time to myself, when I'm not busy with work, and that's something, when it comes to work and time, I have to, like, I find pockets. So my boundary is like, even if I'm busy with work, I make sure that I have pockets of time to myself, instead of like having a whole day or having a couple of days. Like, that's like, oh my gosh, like that can be a lot when I feel like I'm so like tied to a duty or whatever. But other than that, I feel like time is like really important for me to have quality time with myself and with people who I have who I choose. Like, I'm not, and now think about it, like there's only certain people that, like, even when I'm like, I'm tired, but I want company, I will call.
Right.
And and it's like, I won't do that with everybody. Even when I'm like, I am dead, like but I just want to talk to somebody to pick me up. There's like 2 people. Anybody else, I'm like, why are you texting me? Why are you calling me? Why? I'm extremely tired.
Right.
So that goes with that whole special thing. We're talking. Ooh.
You can go into it. You can go into it.
We go to that later, because that just hit me right now. What's your question that you have?
I don't. These are all yours. I already asked mine. What was the hardest one? I mean, the strongest, and what's the not, but for the most part, these questions are all you.
Hold on. Okay. Do you like boundaries? Because it's silent. Look, I called myself out.
That's okay.
I do. I probably do need to unpack, but I'm trying not to unpack.
That's okay. Because that's what the check-in is for.
Yeah, no, it is. So, you're right. I mean, so I'm still like, I'm perfectly imperfect.
Yes.
Vulnerability. Yeesh. Okay.
I'm here.
So the boundary that my toxic trait is that, and I realized this a little bit ago, of I like when I feel special by somebody. If I'm made special, I feel special by somebody if there's a certain boundary that they don't allow other people to cross, but I am able to cross it. And it makes me feel like...
Say it with your chest. I'm just like...
I'm like, this is embarrassing.
It's not embarrassing. You're learning, and now this is something that you learned about yourself.
Yes.
Do you want to unlearn it? Cool. Do you not? Okay, this is
That's
you.
the question. Do I want this to go away? Make me feel special. Like, you don't like them, okay, but you like me.
So where does it come from?
Tandrea, guys.
I mean, you said if somebody's willing to cross a boundary for you, but they don't do that for nobody else. You basically thrive off of it.
Yeah.
Because you feel special.
Yeah.
So, where does that come from that people have to, you get me? Like,
I get you. I hear you.
Drag you or nothing.
No.
Like, okay. Think
I'm
about it.
dragging
Like, think
myself.
about it if it was flipped. Like, is that okay? If it was me saying like, "Oh, Bree crossed that boundary for me. I'm special as fuck." Like, you know,
that's terrible. When you say it like that, it's terrible. But hear me out.
I don't mean to make it terrible. I just am curious.
No, but
like,
it's honestly, it is terrible. But when somebody's like, you know, like when someone's like, "I don't do this for everybody," but they're like, "But like, I F with you," or like, I like, you know, stuff like that. Right, but that's different. But it's kind of like, it's not a big boundary, but I know it's a thing where it's like, yeah, you don't do this for other people, you do it for me. Or it's like, it makes, like, I don't know, like, exclusive. Like, makes me feel like I got the VIP, y'all didn't, haha. They don't like you, you don't get this connection that I do. It's terrible, and I don't know exactly where it, I know some parts, but I don't know exactly where it stemmed from, like what happened, but I know I'm like that when it comes to like my my people, like it will be like this whole, I don't allow, you know, well, some people are like more open or whatever, but like I don't allow a lot of people in, honestly, like really into who I am. There's always like a barrier and everything. So when I do allow certain people in, it's like, you're special. So it's the other way. Exactly. Okay, so when somebody else, but also it has not helped me out in some ways, because some people will cross a boundary and will be like, I'm special, and I'm like, oh, hold on. No. Let's roll it back. Let's roll that back.
You said you're special.
Let's roll that back. Cause I know that. I see that. No.
So you see you.
I see me. That's why I was like, you better stop it.
Oh, that's deep. Okay. We don't have to go too much into
I know,
it if you don't
like,
want to, but that's, like, I feel like it could be good, it could be bad, but I think you might have to be a little bit more self-aware as to what, like, if they're cool, like, if the person's like, oh, I'm doing this because I F with you, whatever, I mean, if it's not jeopardizing who they are, then cool, but if you're like, I can tell that might bother them a little bit, but they still gonna do it for me, like, that's where it's like, you've crossed, like,
I don't think I've done
that kind of boundary. So
I'm not that bad. I just think it's just a little spice, just a little spice.
You're so funny. You know, like, I don't even know if I have any toxic traits with crossing people's boundaries. Oh, because the question was, do I like boundaries? This is me putting out my toxic. I don't know if it's. I haven't really unpacked it too much, y'all. But I think my mind goes into like so many different like thought processes. So basically, if somebody has set a boundary that I might not fully understand because I'm struggling setting a boundary, I might challenge it. Like I might be like, for instance, if it's like family or something, my brothers and they're not always like, oh, I want to go to that event, or I don't want to do this, or da-da-da-da-da-da. And that's a boundary. I don't want to go to that event. I'm uncomfortable around those family members. I just don't care to go, so I'm not going to go. Okay. All right. I could respect your boundaries, but sometimes if I'm bothered because I'm not speaking up, I might press it and be like, you don't want to be around family? So it's like, I don't think it's gaslighting, but I want to say that's definitely manipulative behavior, and I don't intentionally like mean to. It's just my mind goes into people pleasing of like, oh, I had to do that. I blah 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 blah. I want to be around. Like, why don't you want to do that? That does not make sense to me. Like, that's inconsiderate. Like,
that's you're being selfish.
You're being selfish, and you're da 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 da. So I might challenge it. Like, that's a very skewed look, and it's like, no, they're actually just setting boundaries, and they're stern on their boundary. And if you think that they're being selfish or whatever inconsiderate, I mean, who
Who cares?
If anything, they're taking care of themselves. Like,
Right.
Are you having a good time? Because you for sure said yes.
But do you even want to go?
Like, do you want to be here? But you're here.
Right.
So it's like, it could be me like admiring it, but then flipping it because I feel some type of way that I am not there to exercise that boundary setting. So yeah, I think that's probably my like toxic side of it, that I feel like I will flip it really quickly if it just does not make sense to me. That's like, no, this person just set a boundary.
Yeah. So do you like setting boundaries? Does it make you uncomfortable, or are you fully like, are you like?
I struggle. Like,
okay.
It's to say if I like or do not like boundaries. It's very foreign. Like, it doesn't feel restricting. Like, I respect other people's boundaries for sure, but when it comes to my own, it's like it's not there because that's just foreign to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, to say if I like it or don't, I don't know. Like,
yeah.
And then if I'm setting them, I might set them,
but
then I might forget if I don't have to constantly use it either. Like,
that's true.
And then I might go back into bad habits when I'm around a new group of people.
Yeah.
Like, I might set it with one set person. It's like, okay, they've backed up. Cool, dope. Now I've met somebody new, and my mind is just again. Like,
yeah. That's
yeah. So
I think setting boundaries is part of my personality characteristic or character, whatever. Because I know like throughout years through different friend groups, it's like people know what I am and am not going to do.
Yeah.
And it's like, but it's like a joke.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Bree's not going to do this.
Yeah.
Like, she's not going to go here. Like, I think I make it very, like, loud of stuff that I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing this. This is what I do and don't like. And it's cool. And I appreciate it. Because I guess it is a boundary of, like, I don't do these things. I don't like doing that, whatever.
Yeah.
But when it comes, but I am a people pleaser. So it's like, at the same time, like, FOMO, don't, like, I would try to be like, oh, I will try, or try to be open-minded. Like, trying to be that open-minded person.
I see.
When it's like, but I did not want to be here.
So
like,
you're not setting personal boundaries.
No. Like, especially when it comes to like social stuff. Social stuff is hard. Like, there's things where I'm like, I do not want to go to, or I don't feel like going, and it's okay for me to just be like home.
Yeah.
And just do whatever I want to do. But sometimes I feel like am I being too antisocial? Am I being like, I just question, like, am I being a B word by not wanting to spend time with other people over and over and over again? Like, if it's like, oh yeah, like event after event after event, like, even like, sorority stuff, or it's like, oh, you know, da-da-da-da, and there's a lot of times where I'm legit, like, I'm busy, like I have work or whatever, and there's sometimes where I'm like, I just don't want to go to that, and I feel bad about it, and it's like, but it's like, if I know I don't want to go to it, I'm not going to enjoy it, why would I go, you know? So stuff like that, where it's like, sometimes, like, because I know growing up, there's a lot of things, like, a lot of people know, like, no, I'm not doing whatever, and I think it's like part of like my personality, not personality, but like personality. But there's stuff that I still need to like work on, like being like, no, it's like being confident. Was like, I don't like doing egg throwing. I don't know, just I don't like doing these things. It doesn't really. I'm not gonna enjoy myself. Like, oh, you want to go to brunch? Yes, you know I'll go to brunch. Like, let's go to brunch. Do you want to go to this after party? No. Do you want to go drinking? No,
but I feel like you've gotten better with that for sure.
Thank you. I've been trying. I've been trying a lot.
I'm like, at this point, I for sure know what not to invite you to.
Right. Yes. Yes.
But no, yeah.
A night party? No. Day party?
Right. So, no, yeah, I think you got better with that for sure.
I feel like for me, like when I set boundaries, of course, something has to happen where I'm like, I don't like that. And I've been working on, for me, just personally, just been working on communicating what, like, yes and no, and what I'm not comfortable with. And that's why I think it's also part of my personality. Like, I will joke, like, yeah, like, nah, that's not going to fly with me. Or, like, this is not going to work. Or, like, oh, that was cute, but blah, blah, blah. So I think that's how I've been doing it, where I'm, like, saying it halfway, like, joking, but, like, in a, like, you have me messed up. That's so funny. Like, I know, I still need to work on being straight out, like, yeah, no, when you do this, that bothered me. Like, I'm trying to work on that.
Yeah, no, same.
Because I used to do that when I was younger.
I just make a joke about it all this.
Yeah, but I used to be straight up when I was younger.
Yeah.
And, of course, people were like, whoa, like, it would be a whole problem. And I was like, so I stopped doing that.
That's same. Definitely. For sure. That could be where the passive aggression comes from, because when I was assertive, Dr. A doesn't like us.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you like it is and what it's not.
What it's not.
And then I'll say issues. So.
And I didn't want issues.
Right. So
that's the whole reason why.
I definitely struggle with being straightforward, because then every time people are like, it's not going to get weird, it gets weird. Like, for what? Like, people are like, oh, don't sugarcoat. I have to sugarcoat because people act like they want the truth, but they don't actually want the truth.
No, they don't. No.
So, I have to joke about it.
Yeah.
It's like that picture. I don't know if I sent it to you. I have to make a joke out of it or it will destroy me.
No, I didn't.
He's like smiling on a bike. But, yeah. So, setting them, how do I set them? I think I kind of reflect. I mean, definitely was going to therapy. Forgot some of the techniques that she's given me, but for the most part, if I reflect and I peep, like, no, I don't like that, I think I kind of will. This is not a healthy way to set them, but I detach. Like, I get distant. I pull away, and then it's like my nose might initially start off like very sweet.
Yeah.
Until I don't need to be anymore. Like, until they know she's gonna say no.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You get me?
I get you.
So, sometimes, like, there's certain people where it's just like, no, I can't do this. And then I go into explaining. Like, I can't do this because so-and-so and so-and-so and so. No, I can't. Not because, no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't, like, or even if it's money, like, yeah, but for the most part, if it's, no, I'm good. Like, that's doing too much for me.
Yeah.
And I'm bothered that that's doing too much for me. That's inconvenient. It's never like, no, it's like, there's some people feel justified if something's inconvenient for you. But I've never set a boundary because, no, this is inconvenient for me and I do not want to do that.
Yeah.
So, setting them, for the most part, I want to say I kind of get a little distant. Or if I've learned certain people's type, and where I need to set the boundary with them, I might just be like hard cold, no. Like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if I'm thinking like friends and family, there's certain things where I'm just like, nah.
Yeah.
Because I know if I give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. Like, so I just have to cut it short. Like, you want me to come? No.
Yeah. That's, family.
Yeah. It's like they push. And push.
Yeah.
And push.
Yeah.
And push. And push. And then it's like, but wait, why are you tripping? Yeah, how I set them, it really depends on like who, what it, like everything. If I have to take some type of like sweet approach to protect or preserve something, or just be like, I'm good.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'm like thinking of like, I was just thinking of like times where like seeing, because I know I've seen like people push your boundaries, like, in you being like, are you serious right now? Like with family or like friends, like being like, no, like all the different situations. So it's just like, yeah, like I do see where you have to like sit, like you physically detach, like you physically like move your body away, and it's like, and no, like family really pushes you. Like family and friends will, because they know, like you know how we were talking about before. Like they know you the most.
Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of like they're calling your bluff.
Legit, it's like I'm going to test her because she's all bark and no bite.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I know her. I know she's gonna budge. That's what it is. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, I know how she'll budge, where she'll budge, when she'll budge.
Yeah.
She might not do that right now, but I'm going to come back around and push your boundaries.
Right.
Even when you've set them, they're still going to come back around and
Yes.
push your boundaries.
Yes. And it can be the littlest things, and they're still going to be like, ooh, watch this. Watch me try. And it's crazy because it's like, you know, when people, like, I'm, you know, doing, like, you know, of course, healing work, but, like, healing and all that stuff, and just realizing, like, wow, I had to really, let me reel back. I was talking to my friend about, like, you know, living in LA and everything. And I was like, people moving away and everything from home are for different reasons.
Right.
I didn't leave San Diego because I didn't want to be around my family. Like, I didn't do any of that. It was just like, I didn't want to live in LA. Like, I never wanted to be, like, I was like, ugh. Like, I just, but I, you know, happened to be here. But I feel like for me, once I got into the rhythm and kept noticing, like, every time I try to go back, like, something would happen, I had to stay here. And I've grown and I've learned to be very, like detach and be on my own, and not saying like I wouldn't have fully, but I feel like I wouldn't allow myself to have these boundaries and everything if I didn't. Realizing that, like, for me, I feel like I needed to be pushed out of the home because I would not have learned to set boundaries with the people that I love the most.
For sure.
Because the whole workaholic, the people pleasing, I will do anything for my family. When I go back home and friends are like, hey, can you hang out? I'm like, let me see what my family's doing first.
Right.
Like, I love them so much.
Yeah. I
had to learn how to be away from them and be on my own, like, legit. What I'm decided for me, all that stuff on my own, to be like, okay, this is what I am and not going to do because I choose it, not because it's my family way, you know?
Exactly.
And nothing against, like, my family at all, because, again, love them the most.
Right.
But it's just, like, learning how to navigate in a way that I want to, for my personal, instead of, like, being the rock or feeling like I need to be the rock or, like, taking care of making sure everybody's taken care of and stuff like that. Like, that's the role that, like, big sister, like, did.
Yeah.
So, that, like, moving away and having to be out here on my own taught me a lot of my own boundaries that I didn't realize I've ever had. Even to the point, like, I remember freshman year being like, you guys would be in your rooms, and I was like, why are you guys in your rooms? Like, we're in the living room, like, you have to be, and you guys were like, I'm just chilling in my room, and I was like, I don't know that. Like, I don't know.
I think there was one that threw you off too.
What?
And I remember you said to me, I think you were like, you could just really be, like, quiet and in a room with somebody or something. And I'm like, yes. Like, I didn't know we needed to talk. And you're just like, but I'm used to, like, coming out and congregating. And I'm like, but that definitely threw you off. So you have to get used to, like, Andrea's just like this little hermit over here.
Yes, and it like threw me off because I was like, I wanted to be that hermit, but, like, I was so used to, like, having to, like, communicate, and there's, you know, like, there's just how my upbringing was. So, but now I'm the type of person, like, I ain't gotta talk. I am chilling. I can be in the house the whole day and not say one word. And I'm just living my life like it's golden. Like, I do not care.
Don't care. The best.
So that was big, because I remember being like, y'all just in your, what? Like, y'all not gonna hang out? We're not gonna get to know each other? We're not gonna, like, it bothered me a lot. And it's not because, like, I wanted quality time. It was just more of, like, I'm not used to this. Like, what?
Yeah.
But then I really had to learn, like, you guys are your own people, own individual lives. Y'all have stuff that you need to do. Stop.
That made me think about, you were saying, like, with family and all that, just made me think of another area where I struggle. Me opening up around relationship is romantic.
Oh, okay.
Like, in terms of like, similar to you, where it's like, okay, yes, I want to, like, show up and do all of these things, but then the situationships, specifically situationships, they're quick to set their boundary.
Yeah.
No problem. Like, and it's not even, like, clear communication either. which it should be. It should. That's why it's a situationship, because y'all not communicating and all the extra stuff. But I won't go too much into my business. But yeah, of just like, no, I'm not. That's not what's happening. Like it's just like there's no details about it, but it's like, well, when you call,
I
I'm
answer.
here. Like, I'm showing up. Because I'm into you and all this other stuff and blah, 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 blah. But I'm not setting a boundary of like, okay, yes, you're into them, but you're your own individual. Like, so you need to put yourself first. Like, don't drop everything.
Yeah.
Don't drop everything. Don't be super accessible, always available, all those things. That was for sure me in the past. Like,
same. Like, I had to have a boundary when it comes to, like, I'm not responding as soon as they respond to me.
No.
I legit had to tell myself, I would put my phone, you were waiting 10 minutes to respond.
I'm dead.
No, because I would would be like, and you get so excited that they hit me up and everything, or like I expose myself. Little things I would do where I would like, I have another boundary was like, unless we're like getting really, really talking, I'm not saving your number. Like little things like that, because it's like I would get like expecting and be like, oh, okay, like just like the boundary of like having detachment from somebody and be like, you are not like, I'm not gonna do all these things for you because blah blah blah. So I had to like learn a lot of those boundaries where I'm like, now I have a system of where I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah.
Exactly. No, so that's it really for me, like with setting them, working on them, because boundaries are literally ongoing. They're so ongoing for me, to the point like when I was going to therapy, the therapist would bring it up at every session and I would get thoroughly annoyed at some point.
Really?
Yes, because I'm like, why are we still talking about boundaries? But clearly I was not
setting boundaries.
Setting them.
Yeah.
And clearly it needed to be ingrained in my mind, in my actions, because I was not doing it. Like, or I would bring certain things up and then she'd tie it back to boundaries and I'm like, I had no idea that even had to do with it. Like, this person's getting on my nerves, like, or this is what happened and my friend irritated me. Why'd that irritate you? Right. Oh, clearly you need to set a boundary. Why'd you do that? Why'd you show up for them? Right. I mean, why'd you do it if you didn't want to go? Or like, it just would be these questions just like, oh, damn. Like, I still am showing up even when I don't think I am, like, and not setting that boundary for myself. So, dang. And then building up resentment and bitterness and all this other stuff. Like, yeah.
I've been working on setting boundaries. Okay, so I'll say this. When I meet someone, when I meet a woman, I mean, people in general, but especially when I meet a woman who has strong boundaries, oh, wow. When it's like, oh, what are your turns on strong boundaries? Let me know what it is, what it isn't. Like, it's so attractive to me. And like, having that, like, just being like vocal with like, no, I don't play that, or like just that, or like I'm not doing this, or like, you know, like, oh no, I'm going home, like, just it's, oh my gosh, it just
that's so girl, I gotta work through that. That does not, it stresses me out. It brings me so much anxiety.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I love it, to the point where it's like, I'm like, oh, I want to be that. I want to.
No, I definitely do. Yeah. But I think, like, I said, still trying to work my way out of that, like, sunken place. That it's like, if somebody was to set that boundary with me, it's like, it goes into, like, the people pleasing, and, like, I've just done something, perfectionism, everything. It's like, wait, you've told me no? Easily? Yeah. And you're at peace? What did I do?
It stings. It definitely stings.
It definitely stings. So it's like, no, yeah, that's not, like, a quality that of course I want people to speak up and communicate and set boundaries, but I don't think it's like, ooh, turn on. Girl.
I don't know what it is. It's somebody's clear boundary, like, this is what I'm not going to do, this is what I do. Woo, come here.
Come hither.
At the time that you say you are and are available, because I'm going to do the same thing.
Oh, now I've gotten much, much better with that. No, not available that weekend.
Yeah. Yes.
Not available at that time.
And not feeling guilty about it.
Mm-mm.
I've been like working on that a lot, and I'm like, ooh, like I love it so much. Like setting and not being petty, but setting boundaries and really being like, no, this is a firm no, and not having any repercussions for it. Or somebody, there was a boundary that I like set with somebody where I was like, I want to be like this, and them like not being okay with it, and I was just kind of like, I was like, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And I did not falter, and I did not feel bad about it, and I still don't feel bad about it, and I'm just like, yeah, this is great because it's for my peace.
Right. Yeah. No, and it brings me peace to say no and not explain.
Yes.
And then when they don't ask me why, even better.
Yeah, even better.
So clearly you've got used to this, that I can just no.
Right. It's a no for me, dog.
It's a no for me. Sorry.
Sorry.
Not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
So hot tips. I think we're gonna wrap it up.
Yes.
So any tips? Do you want me to start? Do you want to start?
Tips I would have are just like when you say yes to something that you want to say no to, and I feel like I've said this before, take note of it.
Yeah.
Write it down, speak out, whatever, talk about it with somebody. And the next time that situation happens, just practice saying no when you want to say no.
Yeah.
Like, just stand up for yourself. A tip that I've been doing for myself that's been helping is that, like, I like to think, like, okay, I'm standing up for the little girl in me or the little person, inside. So it's like when I just stand up for that person. So that's been helping me to be like, no.
Yeah.
I remember when I wanted to say no and I couldn't. Now I have the power to. I'm gonna say no, or I'm gonna say yes. Like, just allow yourself to fumble, but play around and but also be started with yourself and what is good and what is not good for you, and follow that.
That's good. So from an article that I found, they gave little tips of they put things like reflect, start small, be consistent, and communicate. So to tag along to any of that, definitely start small. It's not like it's gonna happen overnight. Like, if I'm thinking from my personal experience, boundary work is for sure not gonna happen overnight.
No.
It will vary. And you might not be tested right away. Like, you might be tested when you're thrown off, when you think you're super duper strong today or this week or this month. Yep. It might be like, okay, that's cool. And then it's like the devil has something under his sleeve. Like, I'm going to pop out with this 2 months later. And then you got to practice that boundary work that you didn't actually get to practice. So, just be kind to yourself. Extend grace to yourself, when it comes to the boundary work and starting small. And when you are reflecting, do I have any major tips for reflection and boundary work? I would just say don't spiral. Find a way to come out of it. Me, because I almost recently spiraled. And then I definitely
2 times this week.
Yeah. So and it mine wasn't even about boundary work. No, mine was about attachment. And I spiraled and then bounced back. With reflections, I don't want it to get to the point that it goes into a depressive state that you'll stay there. So whichever tip will resonate and work for you, definitely take it. And then being consistent, for sure. Being consistent. The moment that you've set that boundary, until you are strong enough for some type of inconsistency months or years later, in the beginning of boundary work, you need to be consistent, because how we said, family or the people closest to you are going to budge. People are going to budge. And the moment that you're inconsistent, they're going to see that you're inconsistent with the work that you're doing in yourself, and they're not going to respect your boundaries. Yeah. Intentionally or unintentionally. They're going to be like, oh, she gave in, so she's not even serious. I mean, they, anybody gave in, they are not going to be consistent with this, so I'm going to push that boundary. And then you're just disrespecting yourself, honestly. Especially with personal boundaries, you're not respecting your own, not respecting yourself. That sounds a little weird to say. not respecting yourself, but I guess.
No, yeah.
And then communicate, speak up.
Communicate.
That's mainly from the article. That's still
No, but communicate, speak up is like, I feel like really important.
It's very important. Like, but I'm not saying it from like
your
my heart of hearts, because I still have to work on communicating and speaking up for myself and calling it out like immediately. If I'm like, no, this is a boundary that I need to set right now, like, y'all, I got delayed reaction.
Same.
So sometimes it's like I say yes when I really want to say no. It's okay to say no.
It's okay to say no.
It's okay to say no. I think that's and then the other one, just from me and my personal experience, therapy. Therapy. I recommend it. Like, again, you don't have to be going through nothing detrimental, but it just teaches you a lot about yourself. And if you do feel like you struggle a lot with boundary work, then find the right therapist. There's different types of therapists. Test them out. You're dating your therapist. They're not just like analyzing you. You're dating them in a sense. And they'll be able to help break it down, like what kind of things, what tactics to use when approaching boundary work. And yes.
My self-care is I'm detaching when I'm in Hawaii and I'm living my island jungle mermaid dreams.
Have fun. I've never been to Hawaii. That sounds fun.
I might not come back. We'll see.
Live. I'm all for it. My black girl self-care, that I just need to rest. Maybe put on a show and actually enjoy it, and not be putting on a show while I'm working, cleaning, all of the things. Just have a lazy day. I think I need
a lazy day.
Yeah, and not guilty about it. Because even in Houston, there was like a few lazy days, and I said, nah, I'm out of town, so I'm getting up.
Got you. Yeah, no. So, lazy day.
Yes, so thank you guys.
Thank you.
You know the drill.
As you check in with us, please check in with yourselves.
Yes. Take care of yourselves.
Yes, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.